All right. Good morning. If you're joining us today, all you'll need for your work is a hand towel. But if you do like your blanket behind your back for that nice soft cushioning, I will say make your blanket handy, available, and nearby, and put it down on your mat. And then we're going to start in standing, and then we'll work our way down into a laying down position. So open up your towel so it's long ways. Take a second to just find a nice, roughly neutral stance. A little softness into your knees, a little softness into your bum, a little softness down into your shoulders. Take a second to just gaze forward, eyes on the horizon, and take a nice big breath. All right, now you're going to put a little tension on the towel. So you're just pulling it a little bit tauter. And then you're going to go cranking the ends of your towel. So you're just going to keep it taut and then roll your pinky fingers down just a touch, or roll your pinky fingers in, however you want to think about it. So you get this little tightness on the roll, and you're just kind of pulling downward with the drive of your pinky fingers. All right, take one more moment there, and then keep a little bit of tension on the towel, and then take it up to chest height, moving up and down at a nice slow pace. And now come up, think full range of motion, however high feels good in your arms and your shoulders this morning. Nice. Take one more up and down. And then we're going to put the towel behind your back. So swing it around, get a rehold or regrip the back towel, put a little tension on, and then come back to those pinky finger rolls. All right, now reduce pinky finger roll, think palms facing back, a little tension on the towel, and then float the arms up and down. All right, we're going to go 3 folds with the flip over, and then we're going to go 1 that will stay there. So you're going to bend your knees a lot, fold over, let your arms just kind of fall away from the backside, and then bring your hands to your low back. Push strong into your feet, come up nice and slow and controlled, and then do it again. Arms lift up, and bend your knees, fold over, let the arms fall away from your back. Maybe they go just a touch further, and then right away we release, come back up nice and slow and controlled. Do it again, a little tension on the towel, a little bit of a lift, fold over, let the arms fall away. Come back up nice and slow. And then on this one, we're going to go there and stay there for an extra moment. So find a little bit of tension, lift, bend your knees, fold over, let your arms fall away from your back. Take one more moment and let your arms lower, bend your knees, push strong into your feet, come up nice and slow. And now we're going to take a second just to fold up the towel, roll it up, and get it where we want it to be. So we're going to fold it in half hamburger style, fold it in half again hamburger style, and then we're going to roll it up. And you want to shoot for like as tight and firm of a roll as you can get it to go. And then once you've got that nice tight roll, then we're going to come down onto our back. So take it in your hand, take it along with you, because we're going to stuff it behind one of our knee pits. So once you've got your rolled up blanket, then take your time to just get your back blanket where you want it to be, get all your props all cushioned up. work out all the little wiggles, get relatively comfortable on the ground. Now we're going to take our nice tight roll of towel and we're going to wedge it in the pit of the right knee. So you're going to stuff it into the pit of your knee and then hug your heel toward your butt. And then you're going to re-grab. So for me, what I found is if I can re-grab a little bit lower towards my shin and ankle point versus just re-grabbing at the top of the knee, I get that feeling of that. It's like that roll is trying to make a little space in the front of the knee by putting a little bit of distance between the pit of the knee. So hold on to the knee best you can, or hold on to your bent leg as best you can. Take a second just to notice your breath. And then the leg that's got that towel roll, use that foot and do a little point and flex. One more little point and flex, and then take your foot and draw some nice generous circles with your foot and your ankle. Lovely. And then take those circles and go the other way. One more circle around and then let come to stillness. Just hug the knee in a little bit closer to your chest if your body will allow. Take a nice big breath. All right, then slow release and stretch the leg out nice and long to the end of your mat. Flex your foot, take a yawning stretch from your foot to your fingers, reach upwards above your head. Take a little bit of a yawn and a stretch and a reach, and then float that leg back into a bent position. And now we're going to set it up to the other side. So you're going to take your roll of towel, stuff it and wedge it into the left knee pit. Hug the heel down and then re-grab in a way that makes good sense to your body, but you want to feel like you're making space across the cap of the knee. And then once you've got the towel wedged in a way that feels good, if it feels good to add that movement, add some point and flex of the foot. All right, and then when you're ready, take your foot and draw it in circles, circling in one direction. And then take those foot circles and go the other way. Lovely. One more circle around and then hug the knee in just a little bit closer. Take a nice big breath. All right, then grab hold of the towel, release your leg nice and long. Think good morning stretch. Leg goes out to the end of your mat. Flex your foot, stretch your arm up above your head. Take that yawn and reach and stretch. And then when you're ready, slide it on back in. Now we're going to position the towel. We're going to do a couple of hip bridges and then we're going to land on the towel and stay there. When we're talking about where we're going to place the towel, think about where your tailbone is and the center crack of your bum. And you're going to try to put that towel so it lands smoothly into roughly so the sacrum, the tailbone and the crack of the bum. So hopefully when we get to that like heavy position, we'll walk the legs out long, let the toes spill out, and it'll feel like your butt sort of draping over the little roll of the towel. So get your towel in position, walk your feet out so they're in that wide hip bridge position, dorsiflex your feet. Arms are going to come up in front of your chest. As you exhale, press down into your heels, lift your butt up away from the ground. And then as you inhale, lower, but don't let your body rest on the towel, just feel it there, touch it. And then exhale, lift your butt up. Inhale, lower down, feel the towel, but don't let your butt rest. Exhale, lift back up. Inhale, slow, lower. We're gonna go for 3 more and just follow your breath's rhythm. So it might be slower or faster than mine. So go up with the exhalation, go down with your inhalation. And then the next time you come down, and you can make little micro adjustments so it feels like it's landed in the right spot, let your tailbone and your crack of your bum land on that roll of towel, and carefully and slowly walk your feet down to the end of your mat. Think corpse pose position. So your legs are a little bit wide, the toes are going to spill out to the left and to the right, and then arms are going to come out into anatomical position, palms facing up. And then once you've got your way there, just give it a second. Work out all the little wiggles so it feels pretty good. You want to think about letting those front hip bones just kind of spill down towards your butt. And then you're going to just let your breath slow down a little bit here. Three more cycles of breath. And then just assuming that the towel feels good and comfortable, we're going to keep it where it is. You're going to lift your toes so that your knees and your toes turn up towards the ceiling. And then maybe possibly walk your legs in a little bit closer, just depending on how far they spilled out. You're going to put a little bit of an intentional activation into the legs. So think a slight soft bend in the knees, a slight soft flex in the feet, and heels are anchored down into the ground. Arms are going to come out in anatomical position, but there's a little bit of, you almost want to think like pinky blade edge of your arms pressing down into the ground just a touch. And now you're going to feel a nice activation of the core muscles in the first two, or one side and then the other. You're going to notice if you feel like this sort of wobbliness, and then you're just going to see if we can firm up before wobbliness hits. So start by lifting your right leg up towards the sky. Keep the leg a little bent. It's not about perfectly straightening or stretching it. It's more about that core strength and control. And then lower it down nice and slow. Notice your wobbliness, and then lift your other leg up. Lower it slow and controlled. Notice your wobbliness. All right, now before you lift up again, firm up your abdominal muscles. Press your blade edge pinky hands into the ground. Press down into your left heel. Lift your right leg up, slow, steady, nice and stable. Lower your right leg nice and slow, and as it heel touches the ground, press with a little bit of a firmness into the heel. Firm up your belly, press down into the blade edge pinky sides of your hands. Lift up your left leg. Lower it nice and slow and controlled. And now we're looking for some stability the whole entire time. So everything is going to stay in that sort of sense of firmness. Lift your right leg up. Lower it nice and controlled. Switch sides when you're ready. And now we're just going to take a few times alternating through. As you go along, you do want to make sure that your tailbone feels comfortable because you've got it against that firm towel. So you just want to make sure it feels good with the work that you're asking it to do. Notice your breath as you go. Go for about 2 more to each side if you can. Nice. And then the next time both legs are down on the ground, walk them in so they're back into that bent knee position. Lift your butt up. Move that towel out from underneath you. Lower your bum down nice and slow, and then walk your feet out maybe just a touch wider. Take a couple little gentle windshield wipers. Now we're going to take our towel and it's going to move up, and the shape of it, the spacing of it is just going to be like make little micro adjustments as you go, but we're going to shoot to put the roll of blanket horizontal across the upper back body in that space between the shoulder blades. So that's what we're going to shoot for. So see if you can get your towel into that space. Do all the little wiggles so that it feels pretty good. And then once you've got it in place, we're going to take it for a swim right away. So you're going to float your arms up in front of your chest, flip your palms so that they're facing down, one arm up, one arm down, reaching out and away from each other and coming up through center to meet, and then switching sides, one arm up, one arm down, and then come through center. And then you're just going to take a few rounds going up and down. Notice your breath as you go. All right, now the next time the right arm is up and the left arm is down, stay there for a moment. Let the right arm get as heavy towards the earth as it can. Let your chest and your shoulders get a little heavy over that roll of towel. Take a nice big breath. Lovely. And then when you're ready, switch. Right arm down, left arm up. Get comfortable there for a second and then take a moment just to notice your breath. Beautiful. Take your left arm, float it down so it meets the right in that low position. We're going to grab the sides of the thigh or side of the butt. So you're just going to push with your elbows. Use that nice organization to come up just so that we can reposition the towel. So now we're going to take the towel and it's going to go perpendicular and it's just going to be on one side. So we're going to slide it into that space between the shoulder blade and the spine, but just on the right side. So it will make you a little bit lopsided. So you're going to get into that groove, make sure it feels pretty good. And then once you've got it there, fingertips to the shoulder and some nice generous elbow circles. And then take those nice generous elbow circles and go the other way. One more nice generous circle. And then when you're ready, we're going to move the towel over to the other side. So come up in a way that makes good sense. Pass your towel over to the other side. Get it into a place that feels roughly about the same, into that groove between the spine and the shoulder blade, going perpendicular along the muscle. Perpendicular, up and down. And then once you've got your way there, fingertip to your shoulder, and your elbow is going to draw some generous circles. Beautiful. One more circle around, and then when you're ready, reverse directions, go the other way. Nice. One more circle around and then roll off just enough so you can move that towel out from underneath you, put it off to the side. We will come back to it in a bit, but for right now, place it off to the side. And then once you've got your back down on the ground, no props underneath you besides maybe your back blanket. Bring your right knee towards your chest and take your right knee and just draw it in a couple of gentle circles. Circle in one direction. Circle the other way. Nice. And then when you're ready, set that leg down, switch over to the other side. Left knee comes in, draw it in a couple of gentle circles. And then when you're ready, circle the other way. Lovely. One more circle around and then set that foot down. Regrab your thighs, regrab your butt, press into your elbows, lift your sternum, nod your way up nice and slow, catch hold of your shins or your knees and take it right into a cat cow. As you inhale, lift your chest, lift your chin, arch your back. And as you exhale, round your back. And then just take a few cycles of breath following your breath's rhythm. One more cat cow. And then when you're ready with a nice, roughly neutral spine, you're going to scoot your butt back just a touch so legs out in front of you, but keep a good generous bend in the knees. Take a nice big breath up and over. And as you exhale, think more hip hinge than anything. Reach towards your feet and then reach through your fingers. Think hip hinge again as you come back up nice and slow. Keep that nice long spine as you go. Exhale as you fold towards your feet. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, fold towards your feet. Inhale, come back up. And now we're going to reverse the breath. So you're going to inhale as you fold towards your feet. Exhale as you return. Noting just those little subtle variations that show up as you breathe in a different direction. Inhale as you come forward. Exhale, come up. One more time. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, return. And then if you can, keep your arms up in the air, crisscross applesauce your legs. Once you've got that nice crisscross applesauce, get it all nicely organized. And we're going to go into some rotations with arms going up. So you're going to exhale, twist to one side, and then inhale, arms are going to float up. Exhale, twist to the other side. Inhale, arms float up. And then just follow your breath. Exhale as you twist. Inhale as you come through center. Go one more time through, and then we're going to land on the right side twist position. We're going to stay there. So when you find that next exhalation and you're twisted to the right, get a nice gentle handhold, get a little bit of depth in your twist. So use your hands to get a little bit of leverage. And then once you've got that little bit of leverage, soften right around your abdomen best you can. Take one more nice big breath. And then on your next inhale, come through center. As you exhale, twist to the other side. Get that good leverage into it just a touch using the strength of your arms. And then ask your abdominal muscles if they can soften. On your next inhale, come through center, and then we're going to flip our way to tabletop position. So take your time as you find your way onto all fours. So when we come down onto our belly, we're going to use our little roll of towel, and instead of it being like kind of like on the belly button line or slightly below. We're going to get it really close to that like front pubic bone. So when we get there, like if you do a little quick inventory checking, because if you need to go to the potty, now is going to be the time to do it while we're in tabletop position. So find your tabletop position, get your toes curled under, and start to rock your table forward and back just a touch. And then as you're just kind of moving here in this nice gentle space, notice the pubic bone in that front triangle at the low end of your tummy. The next time your butt rocks back towards your heels, stay there for an extra moment. Take a nice big breath. As you come back up to table, keep your toes curled under if you can, and take it into barrel rolls. So we're going to just take some nice smooth circles of the rib cage going in one direction. Take some nice smooth circles going the other way. Go for one more circle around in that direction, and then come back to a roughly neutral spine scapular shoulder rolls. Roll your shoulders up to your ears, around, down, and back. And then take those scapular shoulder rolls in reverse, go the other way. Nice. One more circle around, and then take a second just to come off your wrist, give your wrist a little twinkle, give your fingers a little wiggle, and then grab your rolled up blanket. And just like all things depending, it's like sometimes it's just about spacing and proportions of your bony structure in comparison to mine or anybody else's. When we get there, if you feel like the roll is too wide, you'll come back up and fold it in thirds. But what we're going to shoot for is to place it nice and low. So think about where the pubic bone is and put it into place there, and then we'll go into a sphinx position. So come down onto your belly, put your blanket, put your little roll of towel, hug it really nice and tight towards that pubic bone, and then you're just going to get into a soft sphinx just so you can settle in, and that feels. Take a nice big breath. Notice like gritting your teeth and squeezing your down belows to keep pee from trickling out. So just ask your body, does it need to relieve itself? Take a second to as comfortable as you want to be. And then once you feel pretty good about the work, elbows are going to walk in underneath the shoulders, spread your fingers nice and wide. Press your heart forward, press up through the top of your head. Allow just a little bit of time for your breath to come in and out. We're going to go 3 sphinx to seal, so that little bit of a higher back bend, and then we'll come back to our sphinx and we'll add a little knee bend, and hopefully with the little bit of knee bend you'll feel a little bit of movement in that sort of low area, hip flexors and psoas. So taking it from our sphinx to our seal, swing your fingers out to the corners of your mat, lift your heart up, lift your elbows, come into that bare back bend, and then lower your elbows down, swing, press up through the top of your head. Swing your fingers out, lift your elbows up, come to that higher back bend, float your elbows back down with good control, swing your fingers in, press your heart forward, press up through the top of your head. One out, lift your elbows up, lower your elbows, return your hands, press down into the elbows, press the heart forward, press up through the top of your head. All right. Now bend your right knee, flex your foot, and then we're just to stick with the right leg for a few rounds. So bend, flex the foot, float the leg back down to ground. And we want to stay a little bit solid in the upper body so that we're not just kind of getting like slunk in the shoulders. We just did all that nice shoulder work. So keep it a little bit active and alive at the front end of the body. Flush your foot, heel pumps towards the bum, and lower it back down. All right, one more with the right leg, and then when you're ready, we're going to switch it over to the left. So get your nice active Sphinx position with the upper half of the body, and then away we go with the left leg. Flex the foot, heel comes towards the butt, and then we stretch the leg out nice and long. Go for one more heel pump on the left side. And then down to crocodile position. So you're going to scoot your toes out just a touch, lower your heart down, stack your hands, let your forehead rest, and we're going to take 5 slow, deep, intentional breaths here. When you feel ready, slowly start to lift your head, slowly start to pop your way up. Take your time as you come up to a table position, and then take your towel roll and you're just going to put it up towards the front end of your mat. And then once you've got your space cleared and your towels out of the way, get your table arranged so your wrists are just slightly ahead of your shoulders. Get your toes curled under, but it's going to go back towards the heels nice and slow. Get that stretch into the toes and the bottoms of the feet. Take a nice big breath. And then we're going to peel up from that back position. So you're going to start to lift your knees, peel your butt up, float up into that down dog shape, and then start to pedal out your legs. Bend one knee, press into the opposite heel. Lovely. 1 or 2 more pedals of the legs. And then when you're ready, look forward, walk your feet up towards your hands, come to a nice soft ragdoll fold at the top of the mat. Good bit of space between your legs, nice generous bend in the knees, nice heavy torso. Make a bunch of space for yourself here. Let your head hang nice and heavy. And then we're going to go 3 cycles of breath, looking for that buoyant lift that comes with the inhalation. So take that nice big filling up in breath. Let your exhalation soften you. Awesome. Now, hopefully here you can see your towel is rolled up. Go for it long ways so that you can place like a foot on long lengthwise on your towel, but then leave it there. Bend your knees a lot, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll your way up slowly to standing. And as you come up, take it right into a bounce. Give your body a good, lively bounce. Think of it bouncing like you're trying to bounce the ligaments and the connective tissue just a little bit. So you want to feel like there's maybe some nice work going on in your knees, a little bit of work going on in your hips and your butt and your back, a little bit of work going on in your shoulders. Notice the bounce in your breath. All right, take one moment to bounce and then place your right foot long ways on your roll up towel. And we're just going to kind of step up and step off. So we're going to keep the foot on the towel, but you're just going to put like transition your weight as if you're going into that little step up. And then it's not about bounce. It's more about stimulating the bottom of the foot. So we want that roll to give us just sort of that a little bit unevenness, really. We want to just ask the foot to perform and feel that connection of the strange shape underneath your foot. All right, now you're going to see if you can catch and hold balance just for a second, just to kind of feel that, like that, what your body does when it comes up and holds that balance. Feel that little grip in your center, feel what your arms want to do, feel what your legs want to do to help you support. So you could like catch balance just for a moment, go for one more time. And then when you're ready, we're going to switch that work over to the other side. So left foot onto your towel, and you're just taking it into that step up and down, leaving the foot on the towel the whole time, just so it's feeling good and connected and stimulated. All right, now, and if it feels good on this side, take it into that little touch of balance and let it be a little bit kind of awkward and ugly. Like you just want to feel that first initial like grip that happens where you go, oh, I got to firm up my belly, or oh, I got to strengthen up my leg just a little bit to keep and hold that little touch of balance that wants to come in. Nice. Take one more moment. And then step off the towel, both feet nice and solid on the ground, toes and knees pointing fairly forward, palms facing forward, nice proper good mountain pose. Root down into your feet, lift up through the top of your head, anchor your eyes on the horizon, and take a nice big rib cage filling breath. On your next breath, breathe like you're trying to move the waters of your body so you can feel breath down into your feet and your toes. And then on your next in-breath, take your arms nice and high, arms up, look up. And then as you exhale, bend your knees more than you think you need to, fold towards your feet. Inhale to a half fold, come up halfway, keep a nice good length in your spine, bend your knees, push down strong into your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up above your head. Gather your hands through heart center, and then let your hands come down at your sides. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, bend your knees, fold towards your feet. Inhale to a half fold, keep that good length in your spine, bend your knees, push strong into your feet. Inhale, arms up. Hands through heart center, hands down at your sides. One more time. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, bend your knees and fold. Inhale, halfway. Keep that good length in your spine, bend your knees, push into your feet, arms up and overhead. Hands through heart center. Transition your weight onto your left foot. Pick up your right heel. Keep your right big toe connected to the ground. Press between your palms. Gaze forward, eyes on the horizon. Press your tongue up to the roof of your mouth. Take a nice big breath as if you're trying to breathe all the way down to your feet. Transition your weight over to your right foot. Keep your hands connected. Lift your left heel. Keep your left big toe on the ground. Press up through the top of your head. Gaze forward, eyes on the horizon. Take a big rib cage filling breath. Press your palms together. Press your tongue to your roof of your mouth. Take one more breath as if you're trying to breathe down into the waters of your feet. Nice. And then set that foot down. Take one last big sweep of the arms up and overhead. You can interlace the fingers, pointers up towards the sky. Gentle back bend. Lift your chest, lift your chin. Think big good morning stretch up through your arms, armpits, and fingertips. And then on an exhalation, soften, fold down toward your feet. Inhale to a half fold. Exhale to soften all the way down. Step your right leg back, low lunge position. Let the knee come down, let the front knee go past the toe. Lift your chest, lift your chin. One more nice big breath, and then peel back into half splits. Pull the hips back, peel the front toes up. Keep a good bend in that left knee. Lift your chest, lift your chin just slightly, and then imagine you're to keep a little lift in your chin as you try to bring your nose towards your knee. Beautiful. Rock forward. We're going to hop that back foot up into a soft fold and then switch our lunging position. Left leg's going to step back, low lunge. Let that right knee go past the toe. Lift your chest, lift your chin. When you're ready, peel it back, coming into that half splits position, peel the toes up, keep a good bend in the knee, lift your chest a little bit, lift your chin a little bit, but imagine you're keeping your chin lifted, but you're trying to bring your nose towards your knee. Beautiful. When you're ready, rock forward, pick up that back knee, hop it up to standing forward fold. Little ball of yarn. Take your butt down to your heels, pick up your heels, take your chin to your chest, take a nice big breath. Awesome. Set your butt down, butterfly position, and then if you like, take your little roll of towel and you're going to place it towards the tail end of your mat because we'll put it underneath the curve of our neck when we come down for our Shavasana. So bring the soles of your feet together and then thumbs into the center of your feet. Open your feet up like a book. Keep the blade edges of your feet together. Open up the centers. If you can push your thumbs into that bubbling brook point, somewhere between big toe, second toe underneath that ball toe mound, open up the feet, press into that point, lift a little bit taller through your spine. Lean your chest forward just enough that you feel like you can still keep a roughly straight back and a little bit of that hip hinge and a little bit of pressure of your thumb into your foot. Come out of that hinge nice and slow. Release your hold from your feet. Lift your knees up. We're just going to step them out so that we come into a nice wide leg position. So get your legs nice and wide, and we're going to go hands behind, push your butt forward so you feel that little extra positive stress. And then once you feel that little extra positive stress, little variation of revolved head to knee pose. Go right elbow into the right inner thigh, leverage against the inner thigh, pull that bottom rib cage forward, reach your left arm up and overhead, hang out there for a second, take 3 cycles of breath. Beautiful. Use your in breath to come up, left elbow to the left inner thigh, leverage against the inner thigh, pull the bottom rib cage forward, top hand reaches up and over. And then once you've got your way there, take 3 cycles of breath. Use your next in breath to come up nice and slow. Catch the pits of your knees. Help your legs come in and together. Slow lower your way down onto your back. And then once you've got your way there, you can already put that towel underneath the curve of your neck if you want to. We're going to go right leg into a figure 4 position. So hop right leg across and then lift your legs up, thread your hands through and get that middle space. Not too close, not too far. And then hang out there for a few cycles of breath. When you feel ready, slow release, uncross to recross. Right foot steps down, left leg comes across the right, lift back up, thread your hands through, and then find that middle space. Not too close, not too far. We're going to uncross, but the legs are going to float up. Think legs up the wall. So you're going to uncross, float your legs up, twirl your feet, your ankles in circles, twirling in one direction, twirl the other way. Take it into a little point and flex. Apanasana with our hands tucked behind the pits of the knees. So you're going to take your nice flat pancake hands and wedge them into the pits of your knees. Hug your heels towards your butt, hug your knees towards your chest. Get into that little bit of compression there, and then take some big breaths as if you're trying to fill up your abdomen, but not really. We want to think more like fill up the low end of your rib cage. And you just want to feel that digestive movement of breath in the abdominal cavity, and then breathe as if you're trying to expand it so much that you can feel breath into the back of your body. Take one more breath. All right, and slow release. Let your feet return to the ground. Take a moment there and then ask yourself, where would be your best Shavasana? Would it feel good to land in a constructive rest position? Let the knees drop into each other. Would it feel good to go more traditional shape? Got that little roll towel underneath the curve of the neck, but if it would feel better to come back into that point at the crack of your bum and your tailbone, it might feel good to put it back there and let the hips spill over. So shoot for a space that feels good and you don't have to do too much effort. And then once you've got that nice reduction of effort going on, let your breath slow down. Start to bring your awareness back into your body and gently wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. Maybe turn your head just a little bit side to side. And then start to move your wrists, start to move your ankles. Slowly start to walk your legs in so that they're in that bent knee position. If you opted to put the towel under your tailbone, take a second to lift off and take it out. And then once you've got nothing, roughly so, nothing underneath your hips, take a little bit of gentle windshield wiper action. If you've got the towel behind the roll of your neck, you're going to lift off, get that towel out. And now we're going to go a little onto the side of your IT band, onto the other side, and then come up to a seated position. So take your towel roll and think like a little side butt, a little side thigh. So we're going to position it just roughly so. And then you're going to kind of roll off to one side and then make little adjustments. So because it's like a little side thigh and a little bit of side butt, you might feel that bony prominence there. So you're just going to kind of get it roughly comfortable enough where you can feel that little bit of sense of body weight. And then once you've caught that feeling of compression against the side of the thigh, side of the butt, take a nice big breath. Take one more moment. We're looking for that of increased sudden warmth, maybe a sort of melty feeling is what we're going to look for. Avoiding any pain points. If it shows up as nothing, that's great. Nothing is nice. And then anything past that, we just want to feel like we can ease into it. Take one more big breath and then roll off that roll. And we're going to take it over to the other side. Position your towel roll so it comes a little bit side of the thigh, a little side of the butt. And then you're going to roll onto it. Make all those little wiggles and adjusts. And then you're just going to see if you can stay steady here for a moment. Notice your breath. Think increased blood flow, looking for that wave of warmth that comes in and that soft idea where you can feel that ease come in and you can melt over the tool. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, slow roll off of that towel and then use gently and nicely bring yourself up to a comfortable seat position. So Sukhasana, if that feels like a nice way to sit, but really any seat that lets you sit up nice and tall, and take a second to come back to yourself. And then once you've got your seat nicely arranged with one hand to your belly, one hand to your heart, take a second just to breathe a whole bunch of love and gratitude towards yourself, for your mind, for your body, for all of your hard work. One more nice big breath. And as you exhale, think soft shoulders, soft armpits, soft jaw, nice gooiness all the way down to your toes. And then when you feel ready, gently lift up through the top of your head and open your eyes. I bow to you. Amazing.